Hey everyone, here's a video of my second Abyss 12 clear with Ningguang as main DPS. This isn't meant to be a guide or a flex video as I did fail several times before clearing and there were probably a lot of errors throughout. I just want to go through the gameplay and outline any reasonings and mistakes that I made. Hopefully you'll find it useful for your attempts if you are struggling to clear with non-pyro characters. You definitely don't need a level 90 Ningguang to clear. I just didn't attempt floor 12 for the longest time because I was being indecisive in determining who to level for my second main DPS. I did end up clearing it for the first time during the last Abyss rotation once I decided on Beidou. Let's get started. First thing first, I always go over the monster list and try to figure out which half would be better suited for Ningguang. In this case, I see healer trolls on the second halves, which I generally prefer to use Ningguang since she doesn't have to run after them as much. Especially with the second chamber being a defend the throne stage. This just makes sense. There is also a Geo Chanter on the third chamber, so it's also a bonus, as Geo breaks Geo shields. For the rest of my second team, I chose Zhongli, Bennett, and Kaeya. I put in Zhongli since I pulled him a day prior to this attempt, hence I wanted to try him out and see what the controversies were about. You will notice I didn't use this burst as often as I should have, as I am still not quite used to having him in the rotation. Running through Jade Screen before Star Shatter on Ningguang is second nature by now, however I keep forgetting to do so with Zhongli, thus missing out on a whole bunch of damage here and there. For buffs and heals I run Bennett since he is one of the better support for this stage. For the last slot I brought in a level 39 Kaeya just to shield break the Electro for 2E. And let's get on to the gameplay. Chamber 1, second half. I always go for the healer troll shooter first as they're squishier. Jade Screen can block projectile, but it's always a pain in the ass to reposition yourself every single time you recast it. It's better to just kill the shooter. I probably should have positioned myself a little bit better so the Star Shatter all hits the shooter and just gets rid of it right away. Once it's dead, I lay down Bennett's ult and put down the Jade Screen here, dropping all the AoEs. Going in and out to pick up the crystals for the shield, and it does help a lot just because it blocks a lot of the cryo prison damage and the mist damage. Here I probably should have targeted that slime with the cryo aura initially, but I just hit whatever it was in front of me. I'm taking a lot of unnecessary damage against one target right now, and the projectile path is all wrong because I'm standing too close to the target. So once the first 4 is dead, we're seeing with the next 4, 2 slimes, 1 shooter and 1 cryo mage. Again, going for the shooter first. I drop Bennett's ult because Ningguang's getting kind of low. I tried targeting the shooter, however, again the targeting system is going a little bit wacky because I'm standing in the middle of 3 mobs. Here I thought I bursted on the shooter, however only one of the Jade hits him. He ended up living with 1 HP by the wall and I didn't notice it for the longest time. I should have repositioned myself, pull back a little bit just to get out of the mist because it's taking my attention away from dodging the ice person on the floor. Here now I found the shooter by the wall with his 1 HP. With the cryo mage down, I'm just getting Bennett out to charge up the ult and to heal up for the next stage. Once it's just one-on-one like this, it's pretty straightforward with Ningguang. I probably should have dodged that as well, but just forgot. And that's it for the first half. Here's chamber 2, second half, same type, defend the throne type of deal. I go to the left side first to drop a Jade Screen to block some damage. Then I go to the right side to use my burst to kill that one off. I didn't realize here that my normal attack already aggroed the first shooter, so I really didn't need to drop that Jade Screen initially. I probably could have saved it for somewhere else. Here I go back to work on the first shooter. While dashing through the Jade Screen, it blocked my own vision and I got hit by the Cryo Flower. Once those shooters are dead, I work on the slime. It's just staring at the pillar for some reason. Again, the jade screen blocked my vision again, and I forgot to dodge the flower. Just getting everyone some heals throughout. Got lazy. I frame it with the burst instead of jumping out of it. So once they're dead, I start working on the shooter closest to me. The meter troll will just follow you around, so I don't worry too much about him. Here I'm working on the shooter on the other side of the room, dropping a Zhongli out just for fun. With Bennett, dropping his out, trying to get this guy down. It's okay to attack him from close range, just because you're Star J, some of them will end up hitting him from behind the shield and doing full damage, as opposed to reduced damage from the front. Now I realize there's a 1 HP guy on the other side of the room, feeling kind of stupid. Here, once the 2 Abyss Mage spawns, you want to target the one without the aura, as that guy will one-shot the shrine if you don't. Once the second Abyss teleports close to you, you just start unleashing whatever. The Cryo Shield definitely helped in absorbing some of the Cryo Prison Flower damage. Dropping Zhongli ults just to keep them immobilized. Again, trying to iframe the prison because I'm too lazy to dodge it. This first Cryo Mage is down, sitting in Bennett's ult. You just do whatever you want. You don't even need to dodge the prison anymore because you'll just heal back up as long as you don't get one shot. This is kind of lazy. It's bad gameplay. You should try to dodge it whenever possible. With the 1 Abyss Mage, this is pretty straightforward, and that is done. So Chamber 3, second half, you're going to face off with an Anemo Boxer and Cryo Gunner. I walk forward to drop a J screen on both of them, somehow missing both. Here I start DPSing with my Ningguang, using my burst for some reason, and this is way too early, and Zhongli ended up being punched for it. Right now it's kind of messy, so I dropped a Bennett ult and got out of there. Again, I'm trying to drop a J screen on both of them. This time it does hit both. Trying to create some distance with Ningguang. Now I'm a little bit too far and the targeting system is a little bit off. So the Anemo Boxer rushes towards you, so I just start working towards him. While I'm watching him run away, I got hit by all the icicles and Bennett ended up eating his punch. I tried to iframe with Zhongli, but he still got hit with the Cryo Gunner spray while the gunner was petrified, so he ended up paying for it. At this point, I kind of realized I should stop trying to drop the Jade screen on both targets because I'm getting too close to them, and I should just stay farther away. I forgot to dodge the slam from the Cryo Gunner because I was working on the Anemo Boxer. Here, I'm just trying to get behind his ass to break his shield. For whatever reason, I decided to switch to Ningguang to drop a J screen and then go back to Bennett ult when I should have just Bennett ulted there right off the bat. However, his ult is so forgiving in terms of the heals. Both of them are pretty good health now. Somehow I'm outside the circle, but I still got hit by an icicle here. Once that done is dead, you're getting a Geochanter, another Cryo Gunner, and an Electro Fatui. Here I'm trying to iframe some of the crystals, but I think I did it a little bit too early. I didn't manage to get out of the Hammer Slam fast enough and got hit with a big chunk of damage. So once Bennett's ult is back on, I'm trying to get within the circle while dodging everything else on the floor to heal Ningguang up. Here I should be creating some distance between the Electro Fatui and the Cryo Gunner. Sneaking in a Kaeya hit whenever possible to start working on the Electro Shield. Here, once he created some distance, I just Kaeya him again to break his shield. Once he's down, just start working on him. I know the Cryo Gunner is walking towards me, so I switch to Bennett to try to work on him. There's too much stuff on the floor right now, and I end up getting hit by the AoE and a Geochanter projectile from off the screen. So with the Cryo Gunner down, I start working on him a little bit with Ningguang, getting hit by another Geochanter projectile. Since the Electrofatui is the closest to me, I start working onto him and getting some distance. Now the Cryo Gunners joined us, so I just walk away. Now that I have some distance between myself and him, I start attacking, but the Icicle is dropping again. I see that he procs his shield again, so I switch to Kaeya to get the ultimate and get his shield back down right away. Took my eyes off the Cryo Gunner again and got hit with the slam. Here I just decided to drop Bennett's ult and hammer them both down because their shields were down. I could have switched to Bennett to get some heals if I were playing safe. Dodging the Cryo Gunner slam. I got lucky here and the Geochanter ported next to him, so I can just start attacking them both with Ningguang, and they should be dead pretty soon. Yeah, once the Cryo Gunner is down, it's pretty straightforward. The Geochanter is pretty easy, using the burst for flare, and Chamber 3 is done. 0 stars. There you have it, guys. Hopefully this will help you in your attempts through the Abyss 12. I think I made a lot of mistakes. Primarily, I didn't dodge a lot of the ice cryo flower prisons. I know the cryo shield helped mitigate some of the damage, but I shouldn't be relying on them. I should be dodging them outright. And another mistake was keeping my camera angle focused. Against the Fatuis, I should be keeping a little bit of a distance, not trying to put some Jade Screen down on multiple enemies while putting myself out of position. So always worry about the falling crystals or the ice prisons on the floor. I'm just going to quickly go over my gear for Ningguang. Here's my level 90 Ningguang, rocking 2000 attack, 68 crit rate, 147 crit damage, and 117.6 geo damage. The base is actually 85.6. You're getting the extra stacks from the Lost Prayer passive here. You never really get full stack during actual fight. For the weapon, level 90, 33.1 crit rate substat. Artifact 2-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Archaic. On the flower, we have a nice 20.2% crit damage and a 1 row into crit rate. Feather 3 out of 4 attack substat. HP is also nice, could use a little bit higher rolls. On the timepiece, it's a attack percent main stat. Everything needs to be better. Too many rolls into flat attack, so it's not worth it. For the goblet, it's a geo damage bonus. 9.7% crit rate is nice, everything else is useless. On the hat, it's a crit damage main stat. Again, 3 out of 4 attack substat. They could all use a little bit higher rolls though. On the constellation, I'm at C3. I tried for C6, did not get lucky. Talent 8, 8, and 8. You get an extra 3 2-star shatter from your 3/3 talent. For Zhongli, he's at level 70, so his stats aren't super optimal because I geared him up one day before that Abyss attempt. I just got him as a reward for myself for beating Abyss the first time the day before. So he's rocking 20k HP, 1420 attack, 74.7 crit rate, 112.2 crit damage. The crit damage could use a little bit higher. And for the geo damage, 76%. Ideally, I like for him to have a little more energy recharge as well, just because so I can use his burst a lot more in the rotation. One thing I did notice was that I forgot to use Zhongli's shield at all during the entire Abyss run, so that was kind of a waste. For a weapon, I'm using the Deathmatch because that's the only spear I could get for him. For artifact, 2-piece Noblesse and 2-piece Archaea Petra. Decent flower, 19.4 crit damage, 15.2 attack percent. Feather, again, 3 out of 4 attack substat with a decent roll into 22.5% crit damage. On the timepiece, attack main stat, other than the 7% crit rate and the 10.5% HP, the other stuff aren't that useful. Goblet, geo damage percent. Nice crit damage, 20.2%. Attack percent and HP percent both have 2 rolls on it, so that's nice. On the mask, it's a crit rate main stat. These stats aren't the optimal stats, so I only have it at plus 16. Constellation, he's at C0. For talent, in the Abyss run, he was at 1, 1, and 1 because I was so eager in gearing him up and using him for Abyss, I completely forgot about his talents, despite I have the books available for him. I got him to 1, 5, and 6 afterwards. On the Bennett, his stats overall don't really matter. All we care about is the base attack. It's his 494. He does have 239.8 energy recharge, so it's a decent chunk. Ideally, I want him to have a little bit more healing bonus. Weapon is using the sacrificial sword, level 70. Artifact is a 4-piece noblesse. I'm just prioritizing energy recharge over everything else on him. Here, 16.8 on the flower, 11% on the feather, energy recharge main stat on the timepiece. It's just an HP percent earn on the goblet. And then here's a healing bonus, 4-star artifact circlet. It does have 5.2 energy recharge, but this needs to be replaced. I do have him as C1 constellation. And for talents, it's 1, 6, and 6. Kaeya, pretty much I don't use. He has no stats. He has a useless weapon, useless artifact. Somehow I have a plus 14 flower just to keep him alive. C1 constellation and 111 for his talents. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It is my first time creating videos like this, so hopefully I don't sound too nervous. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.